So as you arrive, and yeah, I just invite you to take a breath and settle in. Whether you are joining us with a sense of excitement, curiosity, or maybe a bit of, here in the UK at least, at the end of the day, tiredness, you're so welcome to be with us on this journey. And we have created this Q&A or taster or meet the trainer to give you a flavor of what these 9 days of intensive training with nonviolent communication means. And yeah, from reading emails to actually feeling the energy of the community and the trainer who will be walking with us on this journey. Now I pass on to Beth.
Thanks, Gazina. So, hello, everybody. So lovely to see your faces here. And I'm just going to introduce Shantigarbha. I have known Shantigarbha on and off, I think, since about 2018. And I first discovered Shantigarbha when which for me was a wonderful way of immersing into nonviolent communication. And I would pop down to the south of the country 5 times, 5 long weekends in a year. And what I really enjoyed about being with Shantigarbha was I got a sense of a real compassionate heart space, a real longing to be able to create a different kind of world that we live in. And I really loved his clarity and his thinking around how he taught nonviolent communication. And we had some things in common as well, because Shantigarbha is part of the Triratna Buddhist tradition, and that's been quite part of my life as well. So I felt like we had a connection there. And also, Shantigarbha has written a couple of books, mostly, I think, Shantigarbha, you can correct me, around environmental issues. And for me, taking care of the needs of beings beyond human really, really matters to me as well. So we've got that in connection too. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be on a team with Shantigarbha, and I'm actually really looking forward to spending 9 days with him and getting to know him even more. Now that I'm a trainer, because when I first met him, I wasn't a trainer, I was a student. So I'm looking forward to that. So Shantigarbha is not the only trainer on the team. There are 4 others. Lillian was going to be with us tonight, and if you were expecting her, I send her apologies. She's not been able to make it, unfortunately. But Shantigarbha, could you tell us a little bit about the remaining 4 trainers who are on the team, please?
Indeed. And do we have an image of them that we can flash up while I'm talking about them? Okay. So if you can find one, if you can find that image, Barry, then
I will do.
So yeah, so first of all, well, Beth mentioned Lillian. So Lillian is originally from Nigeria, but she's been living in the UK. She's a teacher in the UK more recently, and she brings a kind of excitement and curiosity to whatever situation she comes to, and of course a perspective from a non-European country, but obviously with deep ties to the UK and other European countries as well. So that's Lillian. Duke, I first met quite a number of years ago, maybe 10 years ago, on some reconciliation events in, where was it? Nepal. Well, we invited him to a reconciliation event in Nepal, and he continues doing reconciliation events in war-torn and post-war situations. So that's his kind of speciality. That's Duke. Very solid, very reliable and dependable by my reckoning. Then Robin lives in Romania. She's an eco-activist in terms of she runs a farm and she supports agricultural initiatives that respect the environment. So she's very involved in kind of food and agricultural activism. Originally from the US, but now living in Romania, in Transylvania. And then scrolling up, there's myself. And then there's Terra from the Netherlands. And she is the assessor presence on the team. She's part of the English-speaking European assessors team. And she is I think she's a psychotherapist by training, but I met her a few years ago when I was part of attending the European assessors meetings and events. And she's a lot of fun. I really found her a lot of fun. She's she's playful. You'll hear her laugh echoing around the place. I really enjoy her liveliness and playfulness. That's us. Is there anything more you'd like me to add about the team before I start my little slot?
Thank you, Shantigarbha. I think that's fine for now. So yes, why don't you go ahead and give us all a little bit of a taster what this nonviolent communication is all about.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so yes, so my intention for the next 20 or 30 minutes is to introduce you to a playful yet profound aspect of nonviolent communication. And you'll need a pen and paper for this exercise. It could just be a post-it, but basically just something to write down a sentence or two. So you might just want to take a moment to do that. Somebody's dog, sounds like. Okay. And we're going to start with an arriving exercise. So I often start like this. So if you want to just get comfortable for maybe 5 or 7 minutes, and I'm going to lead us through, it's like a mindfulness exercise. I call it an arriving exercise. I'm going to lead through body, feelings, and intentions. Body, feelings, and intentions. And just take from this whatever is useful and just let the rest wash over you. So when you're ready, finding a comfortable position, eyes open or closed, and bringing your attention within the envelope of your skin, so within the barrier of your skin, to get an overall sense of your body. And allowing your attention to trickle down your torso, down your legs, all the way down to the feet and the toes. Just picking up sensations in the toes. Soles of the feet, heels and ankles, calves and knees, thighs and sitting bones. Allowing the earth to take your weight. Lower back, upper back, spreading into the arms, like two branches emerging from the trunk of a tree, down the arms, to the elbows, forearms and hands. And sensing the life in your hands. Warm or cool, dry or moist, tingly or numb. And when you're ready, bring your attention to your stomach, to your belly, any tightness or tension, ease or relaxation in your belly. Coming through to the lower back and following the spine upwards to neck and head, allowing the muscles at the back of the neck, at the base of the skull, to relax and lengthen. Noticing the scalp and ears, forehead and eyes, nose and mouth, jaw and throat, and chest with heart and lungs. Maybe just following your breath in and out for a few breaths. And when you're ready, checking in with what you're feeling at the moment. So checking in around the heart, sensing if there's a color connected with this feeling, or an image, or a sound, or texture. And when you're ready, checking in with your intention or your intentions for coming here today to this Zoom call. Wants to get some information, perhaps to connect with the energy of this session or of nonviolent communication. Helps to do some healing, develop skills, even create the kind of world that you want to live in. So getting in touch with your intention. And in 30 seconds, we're going to bring this arriving exercise to a close. So just finishing off in whatever way you choose. Okay, so welcome back. So I want to talk about translating the inner jackal with a bit of context. So we're used to hearing about judging and blaming when it's directed outwards towards other people. What Marshall called jackal language or life alienating language. And we're used to hearing this kind of language, judging and blaming, as a prelude and a justification for physical violence, as we're seeing in the Middle East at the moment. And this kind of judging and blaming others is jackal out in Marshall's terminology. So the jackal is life alienated language, and jackal out means jackaling somebody else, judging and blaming somebody else. And I'll introduce you to the jackal in a moment. So jackal out sounds something like this. And I have that we don't have a dog, but we have a jackal. And the jackal says something like this: "You're murderers," or "You don't care about me. All you care about is yourself," or, well, you get the idea anyway. Jackal out, judging and blaming others. And what we can forget when we're hearing this in the news or whatever, or in our own homes, in our own workplaces, that this kind of thinking and language is also mirrored by what we call jackal in. So judging and blaming ourselves. Okay, this is the inner critic, you could say. "You're not good enough. You're a loser. Nobody likes you." Does that sound familiar? Am I just talking to myself? Looks anxiously at the rest of the screen. So these two mirror each other, jackal out and jackal in. You know, it's kind of the same energy. It's the same language. It's the same thinking. It's just pointing in different directions. Yeah, that's the kind of insight that I got from Marshall, training with Marshall. So we're going to work with the inner critic today, just for a few minutes, and see if we can translate some of these judgments into human needs. I also call this learning to love your inner jackal. Learning to love your inner jackal. That's him. Okay. So does this sound familiar? Can you nod or give me a thumbs up if this sounds familiar? Is this just in my head only? Could you give me some indication, please? What we've got in the chat. Okay. Yes. Okay. We got a few thumbs up. That'll do. Thank you. All right. As a friend of mine whose grandfather had recently committed suicide, as a friend of mine said to me, the inner critic, or jackal in, is a murder weapon. Okay? We need to take it that seriously, you know, when we're dealing with it. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, we need to get to know our jackal. So here's my jackal. Jackal sometimes speaks very softly. Very difficult to hear what he says. And sometimes he speaks so loudly, it's still difficult to hear what he says. Yeah. So there may be challenges in actually, in actually hearing his message, his or her message or their message. So we need a little bit of practice, which we're going to do. So I'm going to do a little demo and then we'll do an exercise. Very brief demo. When does the jackal tear into you? When does the jackal tear into you? Well, I'll tell you when he tears into me, or sometimes. It can be first thing when I wake up in the morning. And the jackal might have a message for me, depending on what time it is and what I've got going on during the day. He might have a message for me, and it might sound something like, "Get up, you lazy bugger." So bugger is that kind of terminology that we use in the UK, or jackals use in the UK, but you can translate into your own local dialect. So get up. You're wasting the day. Get up. Now, it can be difficult. I'll just close this. I'll just block it. It can be difficult to hear the beautiful needs behind this message. So just to let you know, it can be difficult. So, but we're going to try. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to try. So Jackal, are you feeling really frustrated? Yes. And do you want to see some action around here? Yes. Yeah, move it. Get out. Get up. Stop lying around. And do you just want some action? Would that give you a sense of like movement and things are happening, and maybe sense of sense of aliveness, like you're alive? Do you want to just be alive, Jackal? Yes, especially in the morning. Don't just lie around all day, please. Oh, so you're feeling rather frustrated, maybe a bit unhopeful now, are you? Yes. Okay. And you want to be alive. You want to be fully alive, do you, Jackal? Yes. Fully alive. Okay. All right. So that's the demo. So now here's the exercise. So what does your Jackal say to you first thing in the morning? Please write on your piece of paper or your post-it. And if you're willing to share, please also, you could write it in the chat just to inspire other people as well. What is your Jackal? That's optional. What does your Jackal say to you first thing in the morning when you wake up? He's chewing his tongue. So just take a moment to do that. Yeah, there we go. Ah, yeah. Yeah, just sleep on. No need to get up at all. Yeah. Okay. I'm tired. What's wrong with me? Move slowly. Stop wasting your time scrolling. Yes. Your life is just dripping away. You're not as prepared for the day as you're supposed to be. Shame on you. Yes. You must be getting old. Weaselly Jackal there. More of a weasel than a jackal, that one. You must be getting old. That's why you're so tired. Get up. People are depending on you. Okay, so we've got a few samples. Do your duty to your family from Arizona, USA. Yeah. There's a lot to do. Better not put it off. Come on, get up. Otherwise, you'll go to bed late tonight and you'll be even more exhausted. Oh, the double bind. Oh, dear. Yeah. Okay, so yes, we're on the same page, or at least our jackals are on the same page anyway. Okay, so now here's the secret part. Can you guess what is in the jackal's heart? Heart. I've been told on good authority that jackals have a heart down here. Okay, can you see that? And I found that to be accurate as well. However, you need to be fairly clear about what they need. So what does your jackal need when your jackal gives you this message? What's your jackal needing? Do you remember mine was needing to feel alive? My jackal wants to feel alive, fully alive. What does your jackal need? So in the chat, please. And yeah, and if it could go with your message, that'd be great. If it go with the jackal's message so we can see both, then that would be great if you can manage that. If you can copy your jackal's message and put it the two together. To be impactful, says Mick. That's interesting, isn't it? Like, is that to like to see your efforts bear fruit, or to be in your power, Mick? I'm guessing. Gesina says vitality. I can certainly. Okay, yeah, okay. Nick says yes to that. Okay. Gesina says vitality. Yeah, my jackal certainly can resonate with that. Yeah, definitely vitality, yes. And Regina says, I think he wants to take care of me. Okay. So is it care? Is he longing for care, for self-care? Okay, he wants to help me manage. Oh, you've got a very obliging, very helpful jackal there. Okay, he wants to help you manage your energy. Okay. Oh, so it's all about self-care. Okay. Any more? Any more needs that we can identify? Oh, I can scroll up, sorry. Okay. So Astrid says, the Jackal's message is get up. People are depending on you. And the need might be to be responsible and concern for others. And what would that give you, Astrid? What would it give you to be responsible and concerned? Would it give you a sense of self-responsibility? Would it give you care? I guess something like that. Just guessing. Sherry from Rome says a sense of accomplishment. Yeah, well, I guess that's to do with, again, something like seeing my efforts bearing fruit, sense of completion, maybe, being in my power, maybe mastery. So it can be a variety of different things going on there. What we've got. Desi says, get up, don't be lazy. Need to be productive for fulfillment, connection, energy, productivity. Yeah, to be valued. Yeah, I can go with that. Stop wasting your time scrolling. Need for efficient organization, ease. Yeah, and kind of care. I'm getting care for resources there, Haley. Care for resources, your resources. Maybe choice about what you pay attention to, something like that. Lynn says, don't waste time, be productive. Okay, be productive, to contribute to life, to see your efforts bearing fruit, this kind of thing. Okay, then we've got a few more. I guarantee you won't go for a run today. I need not to fail to succeed. Well, what does it give you if you know you're not going to fail? What would that give you? Self-acceptance? Peace of mind? Just guessing. Beth says, you must be getting old. That's why you're so tired. Jackal is needing acceptance, rest, and energy. Ah, yes, definitely acceptance. Yes. Okay. Okay, so a few more in there. Let me just check the time. Okay, yeah, we've already got time for this. Sleep on, no need to get up at all. Silence and peace. Yeah, it's rest, that kind of thing. You're not as prepared for the day. What have we got? Needs to feel safe while working away through the day. Yeah. Safety, self-value, self-acceptance, this kind of thing. Laura says, is it that you feel determined to keep commitments to support your family? Okay. Yeah. Well, I want to be reliable. I value reliability, and yeah, I want to care for people who look to me for care and support. Yeah. So it's about care and support, really. Yeah. Confidence, ease. There we go. Okay. All right. Now, did you notice that when the jackal heard something that kind of went in, that his heart really softened? Did you notice that? That it's like the jackal could really receive these messages, these empathy guesses as love. That's why I say learning to love your inner jackal, because there's a real profound secret to empathy, which is that if we if we empathize with what's going on down here in the jackal's heart, the jackal receives it as love. And something kind of softens in him or them or her. And suddenly they're a different animal. They're a totally different animal. Yeah. So did your jackal receive some love? I want to know, has your jackal received some love, or at least some understanding? But we're really going for love here. Responses in the chat, please. Did your jackal receive some love? Yes, says Desi. Yes, sure. Okay, we've got a few yeses. Yeah. Okay, yes, and a smiley. Indeed, most welcome to, says Barry. Okay, yeah. Right. Yeah. So if we know how to do it, we can hear these messages, not block them out, and we can try to we could even see our jackal as a gift, or as trying to give us a gift. Sometimes it's not wrapped the way we like it. It's not wrapped the way we like gifts wrapped. Sometimes the wrapping paper isn't the kind of wrapping paper we like. Nevertheless, we can still receive it potentially as a gift. We can say, along with Marshall Rosenberg, we can say, in reality, there's no such thing as jackals, only giraffes with a bit of a language problem, a bit of a language and thinking problem. I think that's it. That's it. That's my slot for this session. So I'll pass back to one of the organizers.
Yeah, thank you, Shantigarbha. Thank you for being playful and bring us a little bit closer also around what it means, in which language we are communicating in this moment, to bring awareness. And to continue the playfulness, I would like to invite everyone to have a piece of paper or even take your hand. So I would like to invite everyone, I will ask question, and we all cover our camera. And when you can answer the question with, yeah, that's true for me, then you take off your little piece of paper or your hand. And if it's not true for you, you just keep your camera covered. Yeah, to stay a little bit playful. So can everyone cover, also who wants to play, it's voluntary, can cover your camera. With a hand or a piece of paper. So here's my first question. Who is already familiar with jackal and giraffe, also jackal language and giraffe language? Take off. Okay. Yeah, so I see all of us. Yeah, fantastic. So now next question, we cover our camera. Now I would like to check who has a little bit NVC experience, also 0 to 3 days, not more. Only these people take off their. Thank you. A few. And now cover your camera again. Who has also NVC experience, for example, 4 to 15 days? Then take off your piece of paper. Oh yeah, it's different. Yeah. And who has more experience than 15 days? Ooh, there are also quite a few people. Yay. So and now one more question. Who is the certification candidate? Oh, Yay. Thank you. Okay. So now I remember I wanted to ask one more question. Sorry. So who has been, sorry, we need to cover. Who has been to an IIT before? Ah. Okay, and who has no experience? What is an IIT about? Oh yeah, there's also quite a few people. So thank you very much. Just to play with me. The people who experience already IITs, would you be willing to write your experience, maybe one sentence, what was standing out for you, or two, max, in the chat? And we will come back what's in the chat, because I would like to pass on to Shantigarbha, while people also have a chance to write something. Shantigarbha, how can you describe an IIT, how you experience as a trainer in IIT, and what can people expect? What kind of workshops?
Yeah.
Also what happened in this 9 days? Is this open, or is this structured, or how can we imagine what happened?
Yeah. Well, we have a daily program with the community meeting in the morning, also to plan the day, and probably a harvesting meeting or community meeting in the evening to review the day's learning. And in between, we'll have sessions, learning sessions. And my experience of IITs is really bound up with Marshall Rosenberg and spending time with him in different countries. And just being part of an international community. I think that's the thing I really loved about IITs and still do love. It's being part of a thoroughly international community and all the different mix of cultures and ideas, but coming together with the basis of nonviolent communication to bring us together. And in terms of the curriculum, what we'll be covering, so this curriculum, we'll be following the curriculum that Marshall developed over many years, and it will include we may mix it around a bit in terms of the order of it, but it will include topics like self-connection or self-empathy, like we did today. It will include empathy, dynamics of empathy, or empathic receiving. In fact, I'll put these in the chat, okay? So you don't need to write them down. Yeah, so self-empathy, self-connection, dynamics of empathy or empathic receiving, like when we empathized with the jackal there. There it is in the chat. It will include scary honesty, so self-expression. It will include healing or transformation or evolution, sometimes Marshall called it. So some NVC healing processes. We have various NVC healing processes to heal past pain, painful memories. It will include looking at mediation and conflict resolution, which is one of the areas that Duke and I have developed. It will include social change. So what does NVC say about social change? What kind of social change did Marshall Rosenberg envisage? How does social change fit with, for instance, with spirituality? Yeah. And it will include sharing NVC, parenting, NVC and NVC in schools. So we'll look at those different topics towards the end. And finally, gratitude, or giraffe juice, as Marshall called it. We will be exploring and developing, generating more giraffe juice so that we can go out into the world with more energy and enthusiasm and vitality. Any questions about the curriculum, the outline of the curriculum there?
Would you like the people write in the chat, or
Yes, please.
the hand?
given the number, yeah, either write in the chat or raise your hand and I'll call you to speak. Preferably write in the chat if this, yeah, makes it a bit easier. Just pause for a minute, give people a chance to think if there's anything. I guess there's another, while we're waiting, there's another aspect of an IIT which I haven't mentioned explicitly, which is living for 9 days as a temporary NVC community. It's an incredible the kind of transformation that happens to people during that time. And you see people like they kind of look like different people when they leave. So that whole journey is, being together for 9 days, interacting, learning, healing, playing together. It really does have a profound impact on people, including the trainers, actually, and I just enjoy being there in whatever context, in whatever capacity. Yeah.
This is also here in the chat, learning and living NVC in a community from Barry.
Yeah.
And he said hope and clarity.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
gives plenty of opportunity, as Beth says, living with people for 9 days gives plenty of opportunity to practice and to make mistakes. Yes. It's important. Yeah, if we don't make mistakes, we're also unlikely to be learning something new. Yeah. Okay, Melanie in the chat says, what is the time commitment? How does each day look? Is it 9 consecutive days? Yes, it's 9 consecutive days, although we're going to have, in the middle, we're going to have like a community afternoon. Is that accurate, organisers?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so there will be a break in the middle to do something different. Maybe go and have a look at Durham, do something different, go to Beth's small holding, permaculture small holding. Time commitment, all activities are optional. However, we will have a program, and do we have that available? A program? Or is there somebody who's willing to just outline? I'll do it briefly, okay, just so you get an idea. So usually, we haven't actually confirmed this in the team, but usually we start about 9 a.m. with a community meeting, planning the day, and then a bit later on in the morning, we go into a learning session, and usually there'll be at least 2, sometimes more sessions offered in parallel by different trainers, covering a similar theme, covering the theme of the day. Oh, here we go. I don't need to guess. It's in the chat now. Yeah, so you see session 1, 10 till 12, then lunch, empathy home groups. So these are space to practice your empathy skills and also to get some empathy, to get some listening, some quality listening from your fellow participants.
Can I add something, Shantigarbha?
Please, Gesine.
Yeah. These empathy home groups is like a little network within these 9 days that you not feel, oh God, who are my people? Because we are, maybe it could be we are 65 people, maybe we are 80 people. We definitely are a larger group than usual, maybe. And these empathy home groups helps us also to digest. It's also support network.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's a safe space. So you meet with the same group of people each day. I don't know exactly how many people in each group, we'll work that out, but you meet with the same group and it's a safe space for you to land each day and to talk about your experiences. Then lunch, beg your pardon, session 2, 3 to 5, then community meeting, 5:15 to 6, 6 to 6:45 dinner, then 7:30 there'll be community offerings, kind of open space format, and there will be opportunity for other activities. So that schedule, that's a typical schedule. We've yet to confirm that in this trainers team, but that gives you an idea of the elements. How many people are coming? Approximately 60 people, possibly more. How many people typically attend? Yeah, well, anything between 50 and 70, sometimes 80. How the group's formed, we will come to that, but you will have, we will give you an element of choice about that, I hope, if I'm involved in it. Sounds great. So, okay. What are the community offerings? Well, it could be further offerings by the trainers, or it could be offerings by the certification candidates, or it could be offerings by anybody actually on any topic, in the evening. It's a bit of an open space. So sometimes there's dancing or games or whatever.
Here, Barry, I would like to invite you. Barry and I, we were on an IIT last year in Sweden, and Barry, you offered something you would like to share?
Yeah, sure. I did a man circle, and we walked into the forest and we lit a fire and we took it in turns to share something we would like to let go of or put down for a little while, and did a little bit of a ceremony in a community of men. We also went for swims. So there was a few people in the morning that would start the day with a swim in the lake because there was one local. There were also people doing yoga, stretching, meditation, whatever excites and motivates individuals, or they like to start the day. Usually they share it and welcome other people to attend. So, yeah, if making a choice is a challenge for you, what a great opportunity to work on that challenge. Because my goodness, an IIT, there's an abundance of choice. That's a health warning. If fear of missing out is a thing for you, an IIT is the cutting edge because there's always more than one thing to do. Just like there's always more than one strategy. Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah. What is this called? FOMO?
But a
The
fear
fear
of
of
missing,
missing out? Or
or
does
or JOMO, maybe the joy of missing out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that includes the learning sessions where we, as a team, we plan to offer at least two different sessions for the topic for the day's theme, so that you'll have a choice. And then that's partly because sometimes we have different approaches, but it's also partly so that you get more airtime in smaller groups. Okay, and we've got a team of 4, possibly 5 trainers. Hopefully, we'll have 5 trainers with Robin. If we get over 58 participants, then we can include Robin. So that's the deal with the Centre for Nonviolent Communication. So we've got trainer resources, so we're going to use them. Yeah.
What is the cost and where does it take place? So it takes place in Durham. Beth, would you like to share something? Because Beth lives only 10 minutes drive from Durham.
Being a bit playful, I want to say Durham is the center of the universe, but so Durham is in the northeast UK, very accessible on the main London to Edinburgh train line. It's a really small city. It's quite a lot of university, river, lots of trees. We've actually made a video for you, so there'll be a follow-up email after this, which will include a link with an email all about the beautiful little Durham city. And the venue is a school. It's a boarding school. And it's the oldest school in the country. So it's a big old stone building with a great majestic hall and bedrooms. So there are single bedrooms, there are twin bedrooms, and a handful of triple bedrooms. So it's warm, it's comfortable, it's basic, it's the cheapest accommodation we could find in the entirety of the UK.
That sounds promising.
And the reason for that is that we really want this IIT to be accessible to people of different financial resources. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, if you if you enjoyed reading Harry Potter, one of these films are also filmed in this building, and so it has really this English feeling. I can say it because I'm originally from Hamburg, so living here in the UK, then I feel sometimes very English. I hope it's okay to say to my family, to my organizers, and Shantigarbha, my partner, we live also together. We live and love and share and teach and training NVC.
So there's a question about cost. Barry, I'm going to hand over to you about cost.
Thought you might. I was just finishing typing. The question to this one is, it depends. And it depends for a number of factors. So
Which question, Barry?
How much does it cost?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it depends. The 9 days request an early bird price, which is up until the 22nd of April, is $2,295 US. However, if you're a certified trainer, or if you're a support member of the organization, or you've been to one before, there's various discounts. I won't go through all of those discounts because there's at least 5 iterations, but I've popped the link in the chat. And then there are multiple options for accommodation, ranging from, I think, £270 for a day delegate, which means you take care of your own accommodation off-site, all the way through to around £1,000 for the 9 days for a single room. Yeah, so there's a different sort of scale. There's also the possibility of low cost camping off-site, but that will require a bus drive and a short walk either side. So it'll probably be, I imagine, maybe a 30-minute commute from tent to door, something like that. So
Barry, there's also a question about the commuter price.
Yeah. The commuter price is only an option for those who live around or not staying at the venue. You do understand well, Maria, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. Because Durham is a university city, a lot of students live in Durham. There aren't lots of Airbnbs or cottages available to hire. But if you do find one, just to give you a sense of the costings, you won't find cheaper accommodation than what we're offering. That's not me trying to sell you to come to our place. I'm just trying to let you know that we've managed to negotiate a price that we're very, very happy with. And recognizing for some it's still maybe not accessible, and I'm on that too.
Did you also mention financial assistance or?
Thank you. I did in the chat, yeah. Because inclusion really matters to the Centre for Nonviolent Communication, as well as the organisers and the trainers on the team. There is also possible to apply for financial support. And you need to pre-register to do that. And then when you go through to payment, there's a button to say, I can't afford this. And then you fill out a form. And then once we get between 5 and 10 applications, a group of people then consider each application. Yeah, so please, please don't be put off by the amount. If there's an amount that you would like to willingly give, and then invite CNVC to see if they'd be willing to willingly and joyfully receive that.
Yeah,
So I'd encourage
you.
I'd encourage
Thank you, Barry. And we noticed some people need also to go. Also from the chat, we can see, we say thank you for coming. And also we would like to take care of the time agreement we have. So if you have any more questions, please reach out to us, Barry, Beth, or myself. We will put in some links how you can email us. And we would like also to say thank you very much for your interest to come to this taster session. We will have further taster sessions with trainers, and we will send you a follow-up email with the link from this recording and from the venue, that you have an idea what is Durham like. And hopefully soon we can also announce our next Q&A or taster meet the trainer session. big thank you to Shantigarbha to give us a flavor of what the trainers are doing and share with us how we can transform our inner jackal. Thank you also to Barry bringing these links. And it was a joy to bring things together with Beth. We both were planning and hoping it will work out. And yeah, as I said, thank you so much for your coming. Beth, you would like to add something?
Thank you. I'm just going to very quickly answer Astrid's question, which is there going to be an IIT in Canada? And I don't know the answer to that, but we will send you a link to all the IITs that are happening around the world, and you can see if there's going to be one there. And if there isn't, you could organize one.
And we are very looking much forward to see you at the IIT in person. This is just a start to meet up. And yeah, it would be wonderful if you have this taste to want more, and then come and sign up for this event, 27th of July to the 5th of August. And early booking is also getting maybe a community to travel together, or even get easy train tickets and what is needed to travel, to get organized. So thank you so much, and hopefully see you soon. And if not, thank you for your interest.
I wonder if people
Thank
might like
you.
to unmute and say cheerio to one another. I would really
Yeah,
enjoy hearing
cheerio.
this. And also hello to everyone.
Some hearts coming up. Thank you.
It's lovely to see
And
faces and names.
I see also some of you booked already. This is great to see you now in person. And also knowing some people from the UK, like Ethan. Hey, Ethan, it worked. Yay. Yeah, happy. And I know Lynn is coming, and I know Laura is coming.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Yay.
Christine is coming.
Yeah, Christine. Haley, I guess Haley also signed up. Lynn and
I hope to.
Yeah,
Kendall.
Yes, Kendall. Hi.
Hi, Kendall.
Cheerio.
Okay.
That's
Hi,
really
Bob.
cool.